Come on in the room. Bucks lose tonight. 105, 121, 105 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Come on in the room. Doc is our doctor, right? So scripture gives us our medicine. In our room. We are live. It's the Crimson Crossover Group Triggers Dirt.
Chris King.
Justin.
Yeah. In the building, Chris King. Justin in the building. Man, tonight was one of the ones I think a lot of people anticipated it. I think a lot of people wanted to see what the Bucks are going to do. And they laid an egg tonight. I think we'll, be interested to see comments. So if you want to talk to us in the chat, get us in the chat. If you want to get at us on the Twitter at TCIIESQ, we'll talk about this one. We will try to be brief tonight because again, it's one of the things where the Bucks didn't give me enough effort tonight, so they didn't give me the effort, the energy that was required to win. So yeah, I don't feel like giving all the effort and the energy required to this. But you know what, you guys, you people out there, you deserve it. You deserve the effort and the energy. The Bucks don't. But yeah, this is gonna be we got a long week coming up. A lot of Bucks After Dark action coming up. West Coast trip coming up. So we hope you're staying up with us. A lot of NCAA tournament action coming up. So it's gonna be a real fun push through March here. But I'll say this. And I know we have a topic talking about overreactions. We'll get to them as well. I know. Give me your overreactions. Kyle Kuzma's the worst trade of all time. I know Chris Middleton is Luka Doncic, and that's who he really was. We really traded Luka for Kyle Kuzma, and that's why the trade is so bad. I know. Let it all out. I will say it's on the front end. I'm not gonna. This is my vow to myself today. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of the Kyle Kuzma discussion because at some point we're talking. Like, I feel like the value of that conversation. Now, we'll talk about his performance tonight, but I feel like the value of the conversation of like the trade, we're saying the same things now over and over again. And I think we beat a dead horse on the Kuzma Chris Middleton discussion. But I know people get in the comments and they'll tell me why Kyle Kuzma is the worst player to ever dribble a basketball. But 121-105, Oklahoma City gets the win over the Bucks tonight. Let's do a game recap. 21, 12, and 10. Giannis. Yeah, I mean, he finishes off with a triple-double. I mean, it was underwhelming performance from a lot of different aspects, but he gets you a triple-double. Kyle Kuzma, 10 points, 2 assists tonight, 4 of 11, 2 of 5 from 3. 1 turnover tonight, did have 5 fouls, had a tough matchup. He had Shea for a lot of the game. He had Shea. And I'll be honest, I mean, again, I don't think he did a terrible job. I mean, I don't think the Bucks did a terrible job on Shea. He had 31, which is his average. Like, I feel like if you can hold Shea to his average, how many times do you see Shea go for 40, 50? I mean, he can go up there. So I mean, if you can go out there and hold your own and hold him to 30, right around that mark, I think you did an okay job on Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. So I wasn't upset with the effort. He's the MVP. He gets away with a little push off. I mean, I think at least 5-6 times he got away with that push. But again, I feel like the MVP. I feel like you should get away with some of those calls. That's why I feel like Giannis should get away with the dunk and you calling a block charge. He should get the benefit of the doubt. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is the MVP candidate. He should get the benefit of the doubt on these calls against far less superior players. Brook Lopez, 8 points, 5 boards tonight, 3 of 8 from the field. There's a lot of discussions that can be had. I think some of the points came late. Anyway, I just don't know all the time what he's doing out there on both ends of the floor. Taurean Prince, 6 points tonight, 2 assists, 2 steals. Dame Lillard, 19 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 3 of 9, 2 of 4 from 3. He had 1 turnover tonight. Bucks kept turnovers down in the first quarter, which was good, and it just didn't have enough. Kevin Porter Jr., 11 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist for him. He was 3 of 9 tonight. Was a +5, played well late in the game. Gary Trent Jr., 12 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 2 steals, 4 of 11, 3 of 9 from 3. Kevin Porter Jr. was 3 of 4 from 3. I read that wrong. He was 3 of 9 on the night. Jericho Sims, 12 minutes tonight. I thought he could have played more, but again, that's going to be another question. The thumb injury to Jericho Sims How much is that bothering him? What's the issue going on there? I thought he was a +1 tonight. And then AJ Green, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. As Chris said before we got on here, what's that meme where hit a three, Chris Paul hit a three, and you down 40. Yeah. That was AJ Green. He hit some shots late into the game when they were down. Good run. I thought the last 5 minutes of the game from Andre Jackson Jr., Ryan Rollins, that's the second time now he's come in late. I know, Chris, you probably didn't see it. You set up the show. Second time Ryan Rollins has come in late. And I thought played very well. He had 6 points, 1 rebound, 2 blocks. He was 2 of 3 from the field tonight, hit a 3. And again, there's some question on, again, you talked, and before we got on, Jesse, you talked about, should you sit AJ Green? What do you do with AJ Green? Ryan Rollins is playing some good basketball with late in games, albeit, but the Thunder still had their starters in when Ryan Rollins is in. So, I mean, I don't know. A lot of topics, a lot of thoughts you can get to there. I just thought tonight, to me, was one of the games where I think somebody mentions it in the Twitter. This one you just throw it away, man. You throw the tape away, you move on. Like, there are games throughout the regular season. I'm sure OKC felt the same way about the NBA Cup. Just gotta throw that away. They didn't come to play, and tonight we didn't come to play. There are games you just throw away. There's like, hey, we didn't have it tonight. And what I'll say is, if you go through, a lot of the games for the Bucks, there, I wouldn't say there are many, especially post deadline and over the last, 20, 30 games or whatever, where I would sit there and legitimately say that they threw that, hey, they just didn't come prepared at all. Now, you could say they didn't compare in certain moments. You got down 15, 16, whatever it was, and you make a run. The Thunder are a very good basketball team. They're a young basketball team. They got up for this game. And, yeah, they were, I get it. They're missing Lou Dort. They're missing, what else are they missing?
Williams.
Well, they're missing Williams. They're missing Lou Dort. But, they had Chet back tonight, who didn't play. They're talking about the back-to-back. Chet didn't play on the back-to-back. I didn't go through there. Chet came with 16 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Hartenstein, again, that's the point. I look at Brook Lopez, 24 and 12. Hartenstein giving you 24 and 12 is a problem. It's one thing for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to give you 31 and 8. Hartenstein can't give me 24 and 12. That can't happen. Case and Wallace, 9 points, 4 rebounds tonight. The other Williams, 3 points. Alex Caruso, Caillou, 10 points, 5 assists, 3 boards. And the guy that kills really in the first half, Isaiah Joe, was Bucks killer, 19.6 rebounds tonight. Wiggins had 9 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. But yeah, just going back to it, it's one of those things where, again, the first quarter is 26-24, Bucks are up. That second quarter is where the Bucks really got dominated. And they went through large stretches where they could not score the basketball. And that became a problem. Where they couldn't score. And again, it's just, it was unfortunate, but, again, I just take it as, hey, you can't string those type of games together. You have them every now and then. A lot of teams have them. Didn't the Denver Nuggets just lose to the damn Washington Wizards?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you have letdown games that take place. Didn't the Cleveland Cavaliers just lose today to the Orlando Magic?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Season over for them, or what? What are we doing? We throwing them goodbye? No, okay. So teams have, again, to recognize in the game of basketball, their teams will have games where they have letdowns. Today was a letdown game, and again, I don't know if the chat. I haven't looked at the chat. I don't know if they're saying anything about. I'll just say this, but instead of singling anybody out, you don't lose games the way you lost tonight. One person is never the reason why you lose a game like this. This is a collective effort. The guys were not good enough from top to bottom, from Giannis on down, from Doc Rivers on down. It wasn't good enough. The collective effort wasn't good enough tonight. 121-105. That's what I saw. Chris, what you see?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I can't really say that this is a game where I'm going to be too down about, because ultimately make or miss league, like we always talk about. And in that first half, after we established ourselves, after Dame had that nice first quarter, we just could not compete shot for shot with them. I mean, AJ Green had a wide open look that would have gave us some momentum, just missed it, and then they go down and hit a three. You know, like those kind of situations happen throughout the course of an NBA season, throughout an NBA game, and that's what I think I saw pretty much tonight is just like we didn't show up. We didn't show up. Even the superstars too, like Dame and Giannis. I thought Giannis's effort was piss poor tonight. I think he could have. You know how all the time we talk about how he takes it to those up and coming rising stars in the league. He didn't do that to Chet tonight. He didn't. I thought Dame was good in that first quarter, and then he's getting ripped by Alex Caruso. You know, that was bad. That was terrible. So, yeah, I mean, I think you're right, Trey. I think I'm going to be able to just chalk this one up as lost to the better team that night. You know, they were better. I don't care how many guys they had out, whatever. They played like a team. We really didn't. There were a lot of bad. Again, valuing possessions is something this team struggles with, and I saw a lot of that today. They didn't value possessions enough. I mean, you get down 9, 10 points, you think you should probably get to the rim and see if you can get to the line a little bit. No, they were settling for mid-range, you know, all that stuff, and it was all a part of just a piss-poor game by the Bucks.
Yeah, so Doc's press conference was pretty short. They tried to kind of belabor a point on this. He just said OKC was more physical. The Bucks couldn't get open. Bucks couldn't get into their offense. And then they followed up with another question, and Doc was like, "Look, normally the Bucks are the more physical team when you look at the majority of the schedule. Tonight they weren't, and they just beat us." And he complimented SGA, how good SGA was, and that was kind of it, man. For me, this is one of our lowest field goal percentage games of the year for the entire team. So that kind of hits on Chris's point. We just didn't shoot the ball well. A lot of guys missed open shots. I know Giannis had the triple-double. He also had a fake rebound where Chet put it down on his head. Like, you can't let a dude 175 pounds dunk on you over your head. All he got to do is put his butt into the dude and he'd clear him out the way. Pause. SGA in the Oklahoma City last night came off an extremely brutal matchup with the Detroit Pistons. They spent a lot more energy and stuff like that, plus the flight over the lake and stuff like that. So you would have figured that we would have had SGA and those guys gasping for wind. We didn't. SGA went for 48 last night. I don't know if I said that. We still had a shot late until Connaughton kind of blew that layup. And I mean, it was a puncher's shot in hell, but we had a legitimate shot, man, and he missed it. Kind of had what Chris was talking about with Caruso picking Dame. That is just an ugly turnover. That dude is – I don't know what it is about that dude, man. Like, the egghead boy comes into Milwaukee and he just plays his brains out every night and makes us look terrible. And then Taurean Prince, man, just some god-awful – we were talking about it last night on the show, Trey, with the lazy passes. You saw a couple of those, man. And like Chris said, if you're not going to value these possessions, you have no shot in hell to beat a team that is this good. If we want to be elite, we got to take care of this basketball and play hard-nosed defense like we did in Vegas to win the cup. So it's in there somewhere. There's no excuses for anybody on this team. Like you said, from 1 to 15, everybody, including the towel boy, had a bad night tonight.
Yeah, and you mentioned Prince. I mean, how do you come out in the second half and first turnover right at the gate? You're right. I think, there was a very weak puncher's chance at the end where, you had an opportunity to make it interesting. I don't think you come out with the win. Clearly, OKC let their foot off the gas a little bit, and that's what got you. You had an opportunity there to try to make a little run, and then of course, right, you had Ajax threw a 3-ball over the side of the rim. Then you had Pat Connaughton lay the ball up, miss the layup. And then I think you came back down with an Ajax alley-oop that threw it to, I believe he was trying to throw it to, who was it? Was Brook in at that point? Or was it, I can't remember who he was throwing. Ajax threw alley-oop, didn't come close to anybody. And so that de facto turnover, you're going back the other way. So it was 3 bad possessions in a row from the Bucks. Where you just didn't have enough. And here's the thing, you weren't gonna have enough anyway. But you didn't have enough, and that was just a microcosm of the night. MacMon says so much for 34 as the MVP. Terry Bolden says shows how we need to get young. Shout out to Sims. Anthony Lay says the Bucks like they quit on Doc tonight. Again, that's the kind of stuff when we get to overreactions. Those are the type of comments that the Bucks look like they quit on Doc tonight. I didn't get that. They had a bad night. I didn't get they quit on Doc Rivers tonight. Now, if you want to tell your team to quit, maybe you looked at the 3:30 game, 2:30 Central. Maybe you looked at that game and you saw the Phoenix Suns. That's a team that quit on their coach. That's a team. The guy that got quit on, his name is Mike Budenholzer. He's gotten quit on out there in Phoenix. I didn't see that the Bucks had a bad night. Yes, I did not see that they quit on Doc Rivers. That to me is an overreaction. Young City, Kuzma's trash. Can we please stop capping for him? That to me, overreaction. King of Kings says Doc is a bad coach. Again, I don't necessarily agree that he's a bad coach. Anthony's going back to it. They're not buying what he's selling. You can't, again, and that's what I think, you can't, since the All-Star break, they've been a better basketball team. I don't know what their record is since the break. They're probably 12-7. I don't know. I have to look it up, whatever it is. But they've been better post-break than they were pre-break. They start off 2-8. They're now 9 games over 500. To me, that is not a team that is giving up. I just don't see that. Yeah. So and then Sammy says you were always wrong about Kuzma. Okay. Like I said, I'm just not getting into it today about the Kuzma stuff, because again, if we want to talk about Kuzma for a second, yeah, tonight wasn't a good night for him, especially offensively. I thought he did what he could do on Shea. I thought he could have, but to me, my problem with Kuzma, I'll tell you my problem with Kuzma: 1 rebound. That's my problem. And maybe I have to look at the tape. Maybe it was because he was guarding Shea out top, and maybe that's why he couldn't get in and get more boards. He wasn't on a wing player, so maybe that's why. I'm not trying to give an excuse, but 1 rebounds, those are things like that don't cut it for me. Again, the 4 of 11. Again, the he who will not be named shot 4 of 10 last night. So I mean, you're not that. I'm just saying that you're not getting anywhere with me on that. When we're trying to do the comparison, like he also only played 20 minutes. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I mean, there is some concern about his offense for sure. I think there's a lot of times when you're watching these games, you see some of that Washington come out. You do. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. I'm not going to say, but I also am going to say that you weren't trading for 2021 Chris. Like that's not what you were going to get with this. You're going to get younger. You were going to get more athletic defensively, and he has changed this basketball team in some ways, in some really positive ways, I believe. So, the offense, I would like to see him get to the rim a little more, but he also has to get more calls, and sometimes he's just not getting those calls, and kind of makes him try to do too much around the perimeter offensively, and it just doesn't look great. So I'm not here to overreact about it right now, just because he hasn't played a minute of playoff basketball yet. But one thing I do know, he'll be out there as long as barring any crazy injury.
Well, what I was saying is, and I also think, when you talk about not getting the calls, because I think there were at least a couple that he should have got foul calls on when he drove to the basket. But I think some of it's because he's out of control. And when you are out of control, I think it's tough on a ref to say, okay, let me bail you out. When you didn't look like you were going to hit that anyway, you just got a little out of control and was trying to get to the basket. So I don't know. I think it would help him if he got out of control. I don't know. At this point, he kind of is what he is offensively. So I feel like it's hard to ask him to be able to do something else. But I think this is what I would do if I was Kuzma. There would be 2 to 3 moves that he goes to. One of which he has the little sweeping hook over the top that's nice. And I think he has one where he really kind of tries to power in you and get to the basket that way. He's got to go with those. Anything outside of those and going to the basket, I think he's got to hone in those couple. And again, even on the 3 balls, to me, I know people say shot selection. They were good. I mean, they weren't bad. I mean, they were open looks. It wasn't like he was like tonight. He did. How many hit one? He hit 1 or 2. He hit 2 threes tonight. And they were. I mean, I think one was on the move, top of the key, and one was on a wing. But yeah, he's they were in rhythm. He took 5. I thought they were pretty open, so I didn't have a problem with it.
No, they weren't bad shots, and I do agree with Chris. There were a couple that he could have got fouled, and I mean, you're not going to get the referees to bail you out unless you're like Alex Caruso. So that's okay. But Kuz is learning. He's learning the system. Like, I don't feel like we give him enough grace. He's been here a handful of games still. So as he learns his system and he continues to learn Giannis, as we get closer to playoff basketball, continues to learn Dame, I think it'll get better. For the guys talking about they quit on this team, how the heck do we have an opportunity with 2 minutes and some change when Pat blew the layup and we talked about the turnovers if they quit on the guy? And then Jonathan Porter, you put it in all caps, so I guess you want to be seen. I know y'all see my comment about Coach K. Yeah, I saw it. No one's interested in bringing in a 78-year-old Coach K to coach these guys. It doesn't change the culture. It doesn't change anything. We're not going to get younger on the basketball court and then get great-grandfather age in the coaching thing. And I'm pretty sure Coach K is living pretty comfortably, taking care of his daughters and his grandkids and doing all that stuff that he wants to do. Because if he wanted to coach in the NBA, that's a guy 10, 15 years ago that could have had could have chosen the team he wanted to go to. He could have been in the Lakers before any of them other dudes got there, before LeBron got there. So, no, Coach K is not the answer. I don't think Doc is a problem. This is just like Trey said earlier. It's a throw the tape in the trash. Chris King told you, gentlemen and ladies, it's a make or miss league. We missed everything. I mean, what do you expect? It's not Doc's fault. Doc isn't the one out there missing the wide open threes. Doc isn't the one out there throwing the lazy passes. Doc isn't the one laying the ball up, short laying it, overlaying it, all that stuff. It's just a bad loss. Move on to Tuesday. This team looked like a team that wanted to get to the plane and get to this West Coast trip and win 3 out of 5. Let's go ahead and speak it into existence.
NYC Demon, always good for a super chat, and we appreciate it, brother. Says we are 5-13 versus the top 4 teams in both conferences. I can't keep this fake optimism. It's not Kuz's fault, like Bucks fans make it seem. This team is just flawed. It's impossible due to cap to fix this roster. We are hard stuck. Maybe this is my fake optimism, but I'm going to disagree with you, NYC. I do think there is a fix. The team is flawed in some ways, yes. The fixes are there because what I'll say is this. Let me say this. Doc Rivers is going to have to make some really tough decisions to win in the playoffs. And again, now what you're right about, NYC, is I don't know if it's enough to win a championship. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get you past Boston, to get you past Cleveland, to get you past if it was Oklahoma City or Denver or LA in the final. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get you where you want to be. But I do know there are things you can do that will optimize this current roster to its max potential. And I don't think they've done that. And I don't know that he's necessarily tried to get it there just yet because it's not playoff time to do it. And again, some of that is Giannis playing the 5, which again, and Doc has run it a few times here and there, but he has not really committed to it. In the playoffs, he's going to have to commit to it some. Brook Lopez minutes have to get cut. You're going to have to commit to doing that in certain matchups. You're going to have to commit to it. Giannis playing more, Kuz playing more. I'm talking about at the 4, maybe he's playing out of position, and then he's at the 4, Kuzma. Giannis at the 5 playing 40 plus minutes. Dame playing 40 plus. Like, I'm talking like they're gonna have to play heavy. You might as well bring Tibbs over to be the head coach. Those are the kind of minutes I'm saying. And again, it's one of those things where, yes, you are going to have to run Dame and Giannis until the freaking wheels fall off. Look at this game. I mean, I'm not joking. The game was first quarter 26-24. In the third quarter, the Thunder won it by 6. So that's a 4-point game. And in the fourth quarter, the Bucks won it by 2. That's 2. So outside of the second quarter, quarters 1, 3, and 4, the Milwaukee Bucks were a -2 through first, third, fourth. This game was lost because you went through a large swath of the second quarter where you did not score. And what I'm saying is, Dame, y'all just got to be on the floor a lot. Like, you have to prevent that from happening. That's how this thing to me gets worked out. And again, and it's one of those things where if AJ Gray, if he's not hitting, the string has to be very short from Doc Rivers. And that's, to me, and so that's why I still have this optimism of faith. Yeah, if you're going to run 35 minutes of Giannis, you'll be in trouble. You run 35 minutes, you're going to be in trouble. But if you're talking 40-plus minutes from those guys, Kuz, you ball in defense, lock somebody up. Damian, Prince, you hitting shots, keep playing. Oh, you missed a couple. Kevin Porter, let's go. I mean, it's got to be that kind of like at least it's got to be real short for Doc Rivers. And again, it may be that you go 7 deep. And oh, by the way, we missing another shot creator in Bobby Portis to make shots down the stretch too.
Yeah, I think, you look at the record and it's all cool that, yeah, the Bucks are 5-13 versus these good teams, these great teams. But at the end of the day, like, you have seen flashes. Dame and Giannis would not be the highest scoring duo in the NBA if there were no flashes. If this team was just completely cooked. We just told you last night that that we own the Pacers, and that could be our first round matchup. We damn near took them to 7 without Giannis last year. So to me, it's like there's no reason why I shouldn't have some optimism that this team can at least do better than they did the past couple of years, which is first round exit. So I'm not gonna go there yet. I understand it probably gets a little tiresome when you get your ass whooped, and then it's like, okay, well, is it back to back, and we can just throw them away. But that's what this game looked like to me. And we already beat this Thunder team before, right? No Chris Middleton, we didn't have him. We beat them before.
Oh, Street Clothes didn't play?
No.
Oh, I thought he was the X Factor. My
exactly.
bad.
Yeah, exactly. So,
damn.
I don't think the season is just, we can just call the season right now. It's the NBA. It's one game. There's a reason these games are 7-game series in the playoffs. I can't go there just yet.
And the beautiful thing about these playoffs, there's no back-to-backs in the playoffs anymore. So all that, we're not rested. We shouldn't be there to have the effort should go away. Hey man, the Thunder played amazing. But my only contest about tonight would be if the NBA has Mr. Damian Lillard, and he has to play better too, just flat out. He has to be better. You got to be the second best player on that court for us to have a legitimate shot. But the only contest I would give to Mr. Silver and to the NBA office, if we're going to put Dame on that foul baiting tape and all that stuff, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has to go on that tape as well. There's just numerous times. We saw it tonight. And to the homie in the chat that says we only watch Bucks games, we saw it last night when the Thunder played the Pistons as well. It's a bunch of foul baiting, and he's too good of a player. He just needs a hoop. Same thing with Dame sometimes. And we've seen it when Dame actually hoops, it's different. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm gonna hit you with the Shaq. I ain't watching the Wizards. You right. Kuzma's cheeks. I ain't watched them. I ain't watching play one game with the Wizards. I can tell you that right now. I did not watch him play with the Wizards. I don't know what I saw one. Unless they were playing the Bucks, I didn't see one dribble of Kyle Kuzma playing on the Wizards.
Real quick, too. Was it when they beat the Nuggets last night? Was it Chris Middleton hitting all those clutch shots down the stretch for
Hell
them?
no, he wasn't in the game.
Or was it Keyshawn George and was it Jordan Poole? I just want to know. Is he really impacting winning that much? Also, he went to a team with like 9 wins on the season. Congrats. Nobody's watching that. Nobody cares what he's doing over there. I appreciate what you did for us. We're Bucks fans. We care about the Bucks. So that's the last thing I'll say about him.
And then one man, Sarr, didn't he have like 35, something like that?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Man, didn't he?
The young Bulls playing well. We appreciate what you're doing in the locker room, Chris. That must be.
Yeah, again, that's That's where he's supposed to be, out in Washington, mentoring guys. That's an excellent job as a mentor. He was a part-time player for the Bucks. Now he's a full-time mentor for the Washington Wizards. Again, it's a win-win trade for all sides. I'll say this too and again, like I said, Chris shot 4 of 10 last night. Kuz was 4 of 11. Shoot, they doing the same thing. Matter of fact, did you guys know Chris Middleton, I believe, is shooting 24% from 3 since he's been in Washington? Says, but I ain't watching nothing. My bad. I done seen that shoot percentage. He's shooting like the cats be shooting when they bring him out to shoot threes and the timeouts for the Bucks. They bring him out the crowd shooting 24%. Let me get another super chat. William Rain says, man, we just can't seem to beat these top teams. I don't see anyone on their rosters and think they are better than our players. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I do think sometimes they're younger, faster, more athletic, have a little more energy. I saw that tonight. And again, they were, and again, no excuses. OKC was on a back-to-back too, so let's not. I don't want to give us that excuse. But yeah, it's tough on Brook. I do think it's tough on Brook Lopez. I think he kills a lot of rotations. I just think he's very slow, aloof, slow-footed, and it hurts us at times. But even him as a sole piece, I don't believe he was solely responsible for his loss. I just don't think the guys were locked in. It was not good enough top to bottom. I know, and again, I know OKC is running. They run a little wall, And the other thing, I say this too. They ran more of the wall and left. I was gonna say they left Kuzma open a lot. I thought there was a lot of space, but then I saw us bring in Gary Trent, and they did the same. They were running the same defense. So I really looked like I saw a lot of the Twitter was saying, look how much space they're leaving Kuzma like he's Ajax, and then literally Kuzma went off the court, and they were running the exact same defense. So their plan was just wall up Giannis, and we'll rotate later and try to get over. But again, that's another Doc Rivers thing. They've got to get to the tape. Kuzma's, if you're going to leave him the other things I've seen Kuzma does well, he cuts to the basket well, and he runs in transition with Giannis well. They had at least 3 really nice transition buckets together when they were on the floor, whether it was Giannis giving it to Kuz or Kuz giving it to Giannis and Giannis finishing on the break. But they've got to do more of that, getting downhill together, and they've got to do much more. If you're going to leave him, I've seen Kuzma in the course of 12, 13, and 15, and whatever he's been with us, he can cut. You've got to get him cut into the basket. That's a Doc Rivers coaching thing they got to figure out. NYC, another super chat, says, last thing, the Kuzma hate's getting weird. It's always been weird. Nobody wanted Chris. You think the Bulls wanted his ass? You think the Heat wanted his ass? That's what y'all in chat talking about. Oh, I said what's I do this tonight. Y'all in chat.
They always bring you in, dog. They always get you.
They bring me in. Y'all in the chat talking about, we should have got Butler. We couldn't. The Heat said, hell no, we don't want Chris folded legs up in here. They said the man can't play 20 minutes. He was getting blown by bench players while scoring 0. Again, like I said, man, I don't want to disparage Chris. It comes off that way, but it's only because I agree with NYC here. There's a lot of, again, we can acknowledge that Kuzma did not have a good game tonight, but I think we get to the point where we start making people scapegoats. And yeah, I don't necessarily like that. That's all. And I think Shy Gio is right. Yeah. Well, oh no, my bad. I read you said Kevin Porter Jr. over Kuz. I thought you said Kevin Porter Jr. over Chris. Kevin Porter 2025. Kevin Porter Jr. is better than Chris Middleton too. I'm just being honest. And the other thing you're right about, nobody wanted Kuzma. That's why nobody traded for him. Again, that goes back to the point, and I said this at the deadline. Nobody was out here begging for Kyle Kuzma. Nobody was out here begging for Kyle Kuzma. Nobody. Mr. Guy, that again is stupid ass stat. So Chris shot 4 for 10. That's the better than Kuzma's last 3 games. Again, Kuzma's last 3 was a heave at the end of a quarter. So he basically shot 4 for 10 tonight too. Did the same damn thing. But nobody wanted Kyle Kuzma. Chris Middleton was, because he was a part-time employee, and because his ankles were so messed up, and because he's so old, and because he can't move, because he's street clothes 2.0 AD, because of all that, aka street clothes, aka bad ankles, aka can't run, aka okay. But anyway,
aka Mr. 2021, keep going.
Aka Mr. 2021, because he was all that. That's all you could get for him. That's the problem. That again, nobody would. Didn't we go on the show? How many times we going to show him and was like, yeah, give me Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Couldn't get. I wanted Jimmy Butler too. Couldn't get him. I had to settle for Kyle Kuzma. Shit.
Hey, if you and Chris would have got your way, it would have been a Jimmy Butler jersey hanging behind me.
Yes, we were begging for Jimmy Butler. I was all for it. So, but anyway, go ahead.
No, yeah, I mean, I'm about done with the Kuzma comparison because it's like they have all the leverage. They're not playing for anything over there in Washington. You guys got all the leverage rooting on Chris to just take them to, oh my God, 15 wins. Congratulations. Like, this is real basketball we're playing for over here in Milwaukee. So that I'm worried about this team, how we can make this fit even better than what I've seen it fit. There's been games where it looks like this trade is the right decision, and so we just got to get that on more of a consistent basis.
No, Coach RJ in here.
Oh yeah, he's back. So this is the thing for me with the Kuzma slander, with the Lopez slander, at times with the Bobby Portis slander, whoever it is. Like, all y'all folks that do that, and this ain't directed at Trey and Chris, because they dudes that'll give the dude the credit when he hoop. But a lot of y'all in the chat and a lot of y'all on Twitter, when these dudes don't hoop, when they do hoop well, it's crickets. You know, it's dudes like Coach RJ. We can't find you, bro. We won 8 out of 10. We 10 games above 500. And, you know, he missing. Like the Philadelphia 76ers playoff seed this year. But you come back. Now, Kuz has a good game Tuesday. This joint going to be half full. Oh, man, you know, it's still – and I don't know how many times you got to say it, but Trey, this is my last time too, dog. Because I told the family night, I was like, man, I can't even mention 22 no more, man, because it almost seems like we borderline like bashing a homie.
No, I'm bashing the chat. That's what I'm bashing. I'm not bashing. I'm bashing the chat. That's what I got it. That's all I'm doing.
Kuzma guarded Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Pascal Siakam, Tyler Hero.
Who else?
Anthony Edwards in that Minnesota game. Am I right on that?
Jamal Murray. He switched on to Nikola Jokic. Yeah, man.
And I mean, the fact we talked about it last night with the slap back on the rebound of the shot. Like, he's making good plays to win the basketball game. And, oh, by the way, he's even had a twisted ankle and still suited up and played against the Atlanta Hawks the next night, coming off of a road trip. Like, what are we talking about here, man? Look, man, like, hey, I get it, man. Bucks losing, it sucks. I wish we could win all 82. But if you look at every team's 82-game resume, even the Cleveland Cavaliers have had a game where they've came out and looked piss poor. It's going to happen. And it'll happen again before this year is over. And that's okay. And it'll happen once or twice in the playoffs. That's okay. The goal is to win series and to move forward. And I think Kyle Kuzma gives us a great shot at that. I think Brook, when he's on, gives us a good shot at that. What I would have liked to see from Brook and Giannis tonight is a lot more old school basketball on that block and drop step. Hartenstein is big, and I agree with you in the rundown, Trey. He killed us. But Chet Holmgren he's 172 pounds at 7'1". Drop step through that guy and get him in foul trouble. But, you know, we didn't do that, and we didn't play our best game tonight. So that's where you look at the coaching staff and say, hey, we should have an advantage here. We did take advantage of it, in my opinion.
One question, and again, Mr. That guy. So I know somebody said in the chat that we don't watch the games. Mr. You tell me you didn't watch the games. Talking about Luka scores 45, or at least Kuzma next to him when he met again. Dumbass. They were again. Kuzma didn't get onto the second half and that's when he held them to 1 of 7 in the second half. So a lot of those points came before that. But anyway, y'all stupid.
That was Torian Prince,
right? Yeah, he was. Let me ask you guys this too. I want to ask you guys about. Let's get off Kuzma. I want to ask you guys about AJ Green, slumping, struggling. Again, he hit some shots late in the game, but before that, when the game was, when the game was actually being played and it was, rather close, or at least you're in the thick of the game. AJ Green seems to be struggling on both ends, both defense and offense. He played 18 minutes tonight. What are you seeing from him? Like, what, I mean, is it just a confidence issue? Because to me, I mean, he gets a lot of good looks, and he's just started missing. And is it a confidence issue? Do you keep just rolling with it and seeing if you? I know you before the show you said do you let him, or maybe you said do you let him sit and get his head right? But to me, shooters shoot. We know that. And here's the thing: you have all of March and a little bit of April to get this thing right. Do you just let him go out there and shoot his way through the slump?
Well, I think we know the great shooter he can be, and we've seen it at a lot of. I mean, over the course of his career, we've seen it. But where it's super frustrating watching him is when you're out there to hit threes. Like there's no doubt about it. But the team does a great job of getting you those looks. And you're not knocking them down at the level we need you to be, right? Like we saw KPJ go 3 of 4 tonight, I believe. We saw KPJ, I think it was 2 games ago, go, what do you go, 5 for 5, 5 for 6 from 3 on open shots in the court. Like, if somebody else is going to have those open looks and knock them down, then we're going to deploy that. We're going to deploy that weapon every time. So it's a situation where, and it may be Gary Trent on a certain night. It may be Taurean Prince on a certain night. So it's a situation where we've got to feed the hot hand, and right now it's just not happening for AJ Green to me. Seeing all the space in the world, he still looks like he's shooting it with confidence. They're just not going down, and that can be frustrating when you play a good team because those just pile on. Like they're going to be able to. You look at Isaiah Joe today; he got those open looks, he's making them. So we're paying you to hit threes, and we're getting you out there, getting good looks for you, and you're not making them. I wouldn't have a problem with him sitting it. That you would obviously like to have a shooter maybe shoot through it, but at what point is it costly?
Nah, great point. So me and Chris King are baseball guys, right? So this is what you would do in baseball, Chris. You get that lat injury, 10-day DL, get some time away from the team, go rest, come back. I mean, you can't do that in the NBA, but I think that would be a perfect thing for him. The thing that I did see that was promising from AJ Green tonight, though, is in the first, I believe it was the first half, he missed a couple of those threes, and he took someone off the dribble, got to his mid-range, and hit a jump shot. He saw the ball go in the basket, and I think it kind of helped him. But I agree with you, man. A lot of those shots were good shots. I don't see anything crazy in his shot form. I don't see anything crazy in the rotation of the ball. It all looks like it's a good shot when it leaves his hand. It just, unfortunately, he's had a couple that halfway down and bounce out and stuff like that. And that's going to happen to just pure shooters. So I'm going to let him keep shooting, but, maybe it's something that Doc's like, hey, AJ, you're doing great for us. We got to let Ryan run a little bit. Just give Ryan an opportunity.
Yeah.
And put AJ Green in garbage time and just let him get his shots. And leave Kuz out there in garbage time, too. I know Coach RJ and some of the dudes in the chat were talking about why was Giannis in at the end of the game. No, sit him down and put Kuz in there so these guys can start getting some of their rhythm. That's just what I see from my seat as a fan, though, but I'm sure Doc sees something better.
No, I agree. I think that is a really good point. The point about the garbage time, and also the Rollins thing. And yeah, when does that's a question for Doc Rivers. Should Rollins get himself? Do you get Rollins back into the starting line? Do you let him try to assimilate a little bit more? I know AJ Green used to be like one of the first people off the bench. I believe tonight, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Trent came in, Porter came in, and Sims got in before AJ Green got in. Now, AJ Green did finish with 19 minutes or so, but yeah, it's definitely something to think about and to consider. But you know what?
My bad. Another thing is too, we always ask for guys to impact the game, and if you're not going to make threes and then you can't do it on the defensive end, why not give Ryan Rollins a look?
Yeah, no, and there's another guy that can handle the ball as well. That something that AJ Green can't really do. But where things can always get done. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill out in Lakeview Boulevard, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Get out there to Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Enjoy yourself. Have some fun tonight, man. You're drinking in your sorrows because it was a national televised game. So what were they getting out there at Curly's?
$3 beers and pints.
$3 bottles, pints out there at Curly's. Every national televised Bucks game, every Wednesday and Thursday. What are they doing?
Bingo and trivia.
Yes, sir. You do well bingo trivia. What can you get?
Chris King's Bucks tickets.
There you go. Section 102, row 23 seats. 1 and 2 out there. Curly's Waterfront Sports Bar and Grill. Proud sponsor of the Cream City Crossover. Tell them the Guru sent you. Tell them the Cream City Crossover sent you out there. Also, want to make it known. I don't know if we have a link in bio as well.
You forgot one. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, forget.
You know what? Tuesday nationally televised too. So go get some more of them joints.
Okay, so we're Tuesday now. Who we got Tuesday? Lakers.
Golden State.
Golden State on
NBA
Tuesday. Okay, NBA TV, Golden State on Tuesday. Also want to point out that we have I don't know if we had a link for it, but for our Cream City Crossover Bracket Challenge, we dropped the link in there as well. Please have some fun. NCAA tournament time starting up. Yeah, I think I see the link in there. Jump into it. Here's the deal. $10 per sheet. You can do 5 sheets. You can send your $10, send your bracket name with your $10. You're gonna go up against Chris King. You're gonna go up against me. You're gonna go up against Justin. You're gonna go up against JT, all the Cream City crossover, everybody who joins in the chat, everybody from everywhere who wants to come play in this tournament. Show off your NCAA knowledge. If you win, you will not only get 65. If you win, you'll get 65% of the pot. If you come in third place, you get 10%. If you come in second place, you get 25%. I think that adds up to 100% of the pot. And then if you win, you'll also get to come do a segment or a show or a full show figured out on the Cream City crossover. So that'll be fun. It's ESPN, make an account or whatever. Somebody made an account and I don't know who you are and didn't send any money. So C. Hagen, whoever you are, we'll figure, I don't know if you're watching, but you do have to figure out a way to send me money. Oh yeah, let me say this. Here's how we send the money. You can send it to my Cash App at TC. Oh God, I gotta see. I don't even know. Well, okay, you can send it to me. You can Apple Pay me 336-671-5548. I don't know if I should put my number out there, but
That's
yeah,
crazy.
I know.
That's
But
crazy.
but I don't how's the Apple Pay me? I mean, I guess you could. I don't care. I'll just block you if you're acting a fool. But send your bracket name, send it there, and then if you need to, yeah, I'll after this, I'll get you the information so that you can send it, so you can send money through Venmo or another form. I got to figure that out. But anyway, that's what we're doing. Oh, and the password. Thank you for putting it up there. Password is crossover. So jump in there. We'll get the information as to how to get payment, and we'll have some fun there. Coach RJ, let me tell you, NYC Demon had a super chat before that. Says that the 76ers are in contention for Cooper Flag, but wait, they don't own their own pick. Coach RJ, your franchise is in hell talking about the Bucks. And then Coach RJ says Dame is not being aggressive enough, in my opinion. Take more shots into make or miss league, shoot the ball. I agree with some of that. That Philly's in a bad spot. Should have traded. You talk about trading guys. They should have traded Embiid a long time ago. And then I'm looking at Damian Lillard, and yeah, I agree. Just continue to be aggressive. I thought there were a couple times tonight where Dame could have turned the corner and got downhill. And he is always looking for that jumper again. What did he shoot tonight? He was 2 of 4 from 3, but he's always looking for it. And again, sometimes I think he can get downhill and just keep going. So again, appreciate the super chats, everybody. Yeah, let me see what Iron Man Clan TV says. 12 minutes to Jericho Sims back on the Ryan Rollins train. Doesn't make sense at all for him not to be playing again. But that's the only thing I say on this, guys, is NBA players are big. The creatures of habit. The reason rotations stay the same throughout the regular season, and you don't just have guys playing 30 minutes one night and 10 minutes the next night and 35 minutes one night and 18 minutes. You have to have rotations. And so it's easy, I think, to think of it in like a 2K mindset where you just get up and hey, somebody playing well, you playing 30 minutes. Like that guys don't get in rhythm like that. So it is very hard from night to night, especially on a veteran team, to just change up one night. Here come Ryan Rollins playing on 30 minutes. It just doesn't work like that.
No, not at all. It was especially so deep into the season already, right? Like when you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna, implement Bobby Portis back into this lineup. It is tough to kind of experiment like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I would like to see a little bit more of Ryan Rollins just to see what he can bring. Obviously, you guys tell me I've been watching the past three minutes of every game, but because I'm setting up the show. But I would like to see what he can do, especially since you elevated him to a real contract.
Yeah, he does look good in those final few minutes of the basketball game. I can't lie. And he's had a couple heaters where he's come out. I think one game we were getting cooked in the end and he had like 10 points or something like that. So he shows sparks of great basketball. And I'm just of the point right now why AJ is struggling. Just kind of cut the minutes in half. Give Ryan some of them. I mean, worst come to happen is I'm not going to say that. Worst going to happen is he's going to handle the ball well and he won't turn it over. He won't make those lazy passes. I think that Ryan Rollins, by him being relegated to the bench right now, he values his playing time even more. And I think for some guys, that'll put a lot more pressure on you and you'll struggle. And some guys will play a lot better. I don't even want to acknowledge that Drew Holiday stuff. So go ahead,
Kung Fu Kenny says it does work like that. KPJ came in and stole Ryan Rollins' minutes off a few good games, and Porter was just jacking up shots. But again, Kung Fu, Ryan Rollins he didn't even have a guaranteed contract. So it's not like he didn't have like guaranteed like, oh yeah, Ryan Rollins is. I don't think Ryan Rollins had I don't think that rotation spot was really set. If it had been, they'd have committed to Ryan Rollins a long time ago, but they didn't. So I don't know that it's set. Side note, I don't know if you guys can tell me. I actually feel myself getting sick. I didn't know I was getting sick until like I started talking, but like my throat is really. Oh man, that's crazy. Everything on my side. I guess I hadn't been talking a lot, and then I started talking in the show, and I just feel I'm really getting stopped up in here.
You know what you got?
What I got?
You got that Chris Middleton non-COVID illness during the Emirates Cup championship game that he missed. Oh, sorry.
I'm going through it. And like I said, it's just weird because I didn't know it until I started talking, and now I'm like feeling it as the show goes on. Brandon from Wisconsin super chat says, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing. I ain't missing. We out here. We gonna come to play today. Like, again, I think Kuzma was on the list tonight. As far as guys that was questionable, I think Giannis was questionable tonight. I think Dame was on the injury list. I know Jericho Sims on the injury list. Guess what? They showed up to play. That's how they do it out. That's the mark of team. That's the teams that if you done gave up, you ain't playing. You don't want to play if you're not playing. You don't want to play if you've given up on your coach. Brandon from Wisconsin says this show is the real deal. Had to unsub from a couple Bucks podcasts and someone whose name rhymes with ferret. Yeah, he'll probably clip this up too. I know he will. That ferret dude is one of the biggest losers of all time. I've never seen swallow my ring. Like something wrong with him, dog. Every centimeter. Dude, something wrong with him, bro. Mr. That, this is funny. Mr. That guy says I caught Kuzma's ass bug. That's a good one. I said that's a good one. That's a good one. Let's see where we at. You guys want to go ahead? Go ahead.
So you talked about all those guys on the injury list or whatever the case may be. And I mean, obviously, Cream City crossover makes no excuses. We got belt to ass tonight. No way around it. But maybe that goes into some of the equation a little bit, right? Maybe Kuzma wasn't Kuzma's best because he wasn't 100%. Giannis wasn't either. And what I would much rather see in a game like this from Doc and from the Bucks, if these dudes aren't 100%, sit them. It's okay. Because if you play them out there and they're 50%, 75%, or whatever the case is, you're playing an elite team like the Oklahoma City Thunder. You're not going to beat them with those guys being anything less than 100% at their top of the level. So just my 2 cents. I'd rather sit them if they're not 100% healthy.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But again, it just goes to show you, I think, how bad they want it and how much they do understand that they're looking at seeding. They want to stay around there, and they feel a little bit of the pressure. Let me just want to check the standings real quick after tonight and see where the Bucks are. Still sitting in fourth. You're half game over Indiana, and you are a game and a half over the Detroit Pistons. And that half game over Indiana really feels more like a game and a half too, because you have the tiebreaker now over the Pacers. You're 5.5 back from New York, getting real tough to catch them. I don't think the Bucks will. But this West Coast trip is going to tell us a lot. Let's go to Twitter. Let's go to Twitter at Yeen125. Says, I legit feel like we overreacted to 2023 first round exit, and we're paying the price alongside the new cap rules. Only silver lining is we're the lucky ones compared to the Clippers, Suns, and the Mavs. I don't think we overreacted at all, but that's another story. At JP Davis 1982 says, we're terrible on back-to-back, especially against younger and athletic teams. At Midwest Baby 3 says, everyone's overreacting. We just played the best team defensively, and they're hot right now. Come on. This just lets us know we have a lot to work on, and Doc needs to hurry up and get us ready and peak. Then we have a free gift adding Bobby later. I think people have not mentioned that. Again, you're talking about Lou Dort's out, and this guy's out. We're still missing Bobby Portis. At Jules ESQ says, I don't care who you want to sub in as a starting two. Gary Trent Jr., AJ Green, or Rollins. Don't care if you make Prince or Kuz as a sixth man. But it's becoming pretty obvious that the best big ball lineup doesn't work when teams have elite point guards who can get to the lane and spray passes to open threes. At AZip70 says Ajax and Rollins both need to be inserted back into the rotation. Starting Tuesday night at Golden State. Although it was a garbage time, you can see the difference they make, especially on the defensive end. Let's do a couple more here. At J Phil in Texas says the white guys are killing this team. Okay. And then at P Davis Innovates says the offense overreactions are unwarranted. Kuz is being scapegoated. Doc needs to be better in these big games. Starts with inserting more shooting into the starting five. TP, Kuz, Giannis, Brook is untenable. And the last one, GA_hoop says, I know you're not going to read my tweet on your show because I will expose the fraud Kyle Kuzma. Okay, we are reading the tweet on the show. First, I am not putting this all on Kuzma, but you have to realize how incompetent he is on offense. You make it sound like this dude is the second coming of Tony Allen. Just stop. Okay, well, there you go. I read it, and you did not expose Kyle Kuzma. So enjoy. There you go. Mr. That one guy says team is better off without Bobby. Again, the reason I disagree with that is because again, we talked about it before. I think they're more insulated now defensively. There was a time when I thought that when this team didn't have the athletic bodies, but I think they have it now. I think they're a little better, and they should be okay. And then let me see. Sammy says, Justin, you're the most delusional Bucks fan out there, big bro. We're not good. Focus on the reality. I just did. We say they're not good. Like, again, what is good? Because the only teams that I can go say are legitimately better than the Bucks is OKC, Boston, Cleveland. Those are the only teams that I can legitimately say, yeah, we are a step behind those teams. And I still think we have a shot at beating them in a series. But there are three teams in the entire NBA, to me, that we're just that are legitimately they're better. To me, I have a problem when people say we're not good. Are there only three good teams in the NBA? Is that what you're telling me? That's what you're telling me, okay. But yeah, I disagree. The Bucks are not good. I think they beat everybody in the East in a series outside of Cleveland, but I would pick them in 6 at minimum versus everybody else. Knicks beat them in 6. Indy beat them in 4 or 5. Detroit beat them in 4 or 5. Atlanta beat them in 4 or 5. Orlando 4 or 5. Miami 4. Chicago 4. Those are your top 10. We're beating them.
Yeah, it's all just going off of the records, which is valid, I guess. It's a valid point here and there, but at the same time, it's still a regular season. It's still regular season in the NBA. I mean, if we're being honest, why do you think people say that the product of this league is declining? It's because there are games like this. There's so many games like this where a team could be missing what's his name? J-Dub, is that what they call him? And Lou Dort, and they could still be the better team because they're making more shots, right? Like, so, I just feel like that's the way the NBA goes. I would love to see us match up with the Cavs, who we've kept it pretty respectable in most of those matchups with them outside of the last one. So, like, we will have a puncher's chance in these playoffs. We will. If you have Dame and Giannis, you will have a puncher's chance as long as they stay healthy.
And that was the point I was going to get to right there. I mean, you could call me delusional. Hey, man, I think all y'all in the chat know my glass is going to be half full regardless when it comes to the Milwaukee Bucks. I done seen enough losing to be positive at this point in my life. So what I'm going to tell you, though, is the same thing Chris King just told you. With 34 and the letter O, I think we're good against a lot of teams. And I know Trey stopped it at 3 teams, but I see the Dunkin' Donuts dude back in the chat. Welcome back, No Strays. I think we could beat y'all, too. And the thing that we're looking at right now, we're looking at this injury curse that hurts the Bucks that it always does. It seems like in these last 4 to 5 years, even in the year we won a championship, we got bit by that. But you're looking at Cleveland completely healthy right now. You're looking at Boston completely healthy right now. I hope it stays that way. New York is suffering it right now with Brunson down. So you are a miss here, a miss there of the playing field be even more even. Yeah, hey, Mickey, your mom's. That part.
And yeah, that is a Kuzma jersey that Justin has up behind him. Somebody said go to the West. I know. So again, elite teams. How many times we beat Houston? What are we 1-1 against Houston? I know we beat Houston at least once.
Yeah.
Denver. I know we got them again on the road trip. We beat Denver. I know that.
No Dame, no Giannis.
The Timberwolves. We beat them. No Dame, no Giannis. We're 2 games behind the Timberwolves. They're 40-29. We've won 38 games. We beat the Clippers. We beat the Clippers in LA. If I recall. It was in Milwaukee. Okay,
we choked that game in.
Right, we were whooping their ass.
0.
Yes, we were whooping their ass. And we did lose, but then we came back and beat them. Kevin Porter Jr. went off on them. The Grizzlies are good, but again, like I said, Denver to me, again, styles make fights. So even if you want to say that you think Denver's the better team, to me, matchup wise, we actually, again, it's a matchup where Brook Lopez can actually stay on the court against a Joker, because the body type and Joker doesn't just run him off the floor at all times, but you can still run Giannis to 5 in there. So Denver, yeah, I'll take us. Houston is way too young to beat the Milwaukee Bucks in the series. I'm telling you, teams are itching to play. Houston's right now the 2 seed in the West. Teams are itching to play the Houston Rockets in the playoffs. The Lakers, again, they're a good basketball team. Oh, we just whooped their ass the other night. And Golden State, we'll see them. I think, again, now they are a sleeper kind of a team. They've won 7 in a row. Very, very good basketball team now with the addition of Jimmy Butler. But, yeah, you run all these teams down. Again, I just went through the West. I don't think any one of these teams are just I think for sure we beat Houston, Denver. I think for sure we beat Houston, Denver in a series for sure. Memphis, I think, again, style's a little different there. I think you can find a way to beat Memphis. That'd be a good series. LA will be a very good series. Golden State, I want to see them. We beat Minnesota in the series. Rudy Gobert's ass. Clippers, we beat. So yeah, man, y'all are sitting here and just telling me all these teams are better than us. We beat some of these teams. We beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. No Dame, no Giannis. Kuz had 19 and 14 that game, by the way. Oh, that part.
The dude that sucks, right?
Right. He asked and was out there putting it on the Timberwolves.
It's funny though, when you make that argument, their counterpoint is, well, you're only gonna see one of them in the play. Like, all right, bro. Like at this point, a lot of people just pick and choose what to argue. It's dumb to me. You gotta see it both sides. And
then miss it. Well, Denver missed a million open 3. Y'all can give me all the excuses you want to. Yeah, it's funny. You can't give an excuse for the Bucks somehow. They're not allowed. You're not allowed to use any excuses for the Bucks. But when we beat somebody. When we beat somebody, they can get all these. Oh, they missed a bunch of shots. Okay, so did we. So did Cleveland miss shots tonight. He would have hit those.
Yeah, so the Bucks are better than the Thunder because we missed a whole bunch of open threes and layups and everything else tonight then too. So if we using that logic, man, at the end of the day, this team is going to gel together. And once we get to that playoff push, that's when we're going to see what they have. And we're going to see if 34 and the letter O are going to be the Hall of Famers that they already have gotten with their careers, and see if they can come out and push this team over the hump. Like, we can spin the statistics every way. I ain't majoring that, dog. That's not my area, though.
Yeah, we can do. We can do that. However you want to. What is that? Mike Monsters, I believe you accept Pacers and Heat took the Bucks down, and those teams weren't good. When did the Pacers and Heat take? I don't even know what you're talking about.
The last 2 playoffs, but the Heat went to the finals that year, and the Pacers went to the Eastern Conference finals.
And if I'm not mistaken, in both of those series, in the Pacers, Giannis didn't play the entire series. Dame missed 3 games. The Heat series, Giannis missed 2.5 games. I mean, what are we talking about?
And if we're gonna sit here and blame, I don't even want to do this, but we got to do it. If we're gonna sit here and blame coaching, Bud blew double-digit leads in that Heat series. In 3 out of them 4 games that we lost. Right. Just saying.
Right.
Terrible coaching job by him. Golly.
But they're gonna blame that on his brother.
Oh, and one more thing to the homie he missed Drew. Do you remember Drew in that series?
I own you. That's what Jimmy Butler said to Drew. I own you. On your home court. All right. So let's, man. I don't know how long we've gone, but let's keep rolling here. Game balls tonight. Where you guys going? Game balls. Let's let. Chris ain't been here for the AKA. Justin, we'll show you how we done change this up a little. Justin, give me game balls. Go ahead.
So Trey's philosophy is you got to win it to get it.
You can do how you want though. That
ain't what I'm doing.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going. So this is where I'm going. Right. We talked a lot about guys who've missed games, guys who haven't. Before this game, there was a gentleman by the name of Jericho Sims who we thought he was having season injury ending thumb surgery. The guy came out there, played good defense, rebounded the ball well, thought he contested shots well. The fact that he was out there, I'm going to go to Jericho Sims, a.k.a. I don't need a thumb to play good defense, a.k.a. my hair's all over the place and so is my defense, a.k.a. if you throw me that alley, I'll dunk on SGA and all the Kuzma haters in the chat. Big time Jericho Sims with the smoke tonight.
There you go. There you go. Jericho Sims gets the game ball. Okay, Chris. Game ball.
So do I got to do the AKA thing?
Yeah, we got
to man, this is tough. See, I don't really think anybody deserves it for the Bucks tonight. So I guess I'll go ahead and go with the OKC Thunder. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Isaiah Hartenstein, aka I didn't know he was black. With those push shots. I mean, how does he's perfected it. He's really found a way to knock those floaters down. I don't know how we gave him so much space in the paint. And yeah, so I'll give it to Isaiah Hartenstein. Played well.
All right. Isaiah Hartenstein. He did 24 and 12 tonight for him. Man, I'm gonna give it to. I'm gonna give it where respect is, is earned, not given, and I'm gonna say, that this was an MVP matchup, Giannis and Shea. I know Giannis is not in the real discussion because it's only between two guys right now. It's between Shea and Nikola Jokic, and that's how the media decided it. But the MVP came in and did MVP things. 31, 8 assists tonight. You got to win to get in. He was 11 for 27. So, again, I think the Bucks did a decent job. 31 points on 27 shots. Not the worst in the world. He was a +8 tonight. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander gets my game ball tonight. A.K.A. the real MVP. A.K.A. still flopping. A.K.A. OKC's good. They ain't going to win a championship.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's how we do that. And then Quackney22 says Joe was locked in. So I'm gonna go ahead and give. Oh dang, never mind. JT wouldn't give his game ball to. So somebody else give out JT because I was gonna say Isaiah Joe, but he wouldn't give his game ball to a OKC. So somebody else. Who would JT give his game ball to?
What you think, Chris? I'd probably say he leaned 34, right? No.
I think this is one of those ones. JT takes his ball and goes home.
Yeah,
it's striking me as one where he's tucking that ball under his arm and heading home. So
tucking the ball is crazy.
AKA nobody.
Yeah. So good. So again, tonight was a rough night. 121-105. The good thing about it is you get to go out, get to do it all again on Tuesday night against the Warriors on NBA TV. Both teams, Bucks 38-29, Warriors 39-28. Again, this would be a on the road, starting your road trip. This would be if the Bucks can beat the Warriors Tuesday night, this would be a tremendous win. And you forget everything about what just happened tonight, because the Warriors are playing again. They're playing just as good as ball as anybody in the entire NBA and the association. And again, Jimmy Butler has been really good. You know what Steph Curry can do? Just have 4,000 threes for his career. So Tuesday night, you want to see the Bucks get this one done. Want to do a quick look around here at the rest of the NBA. 121-105. Thunder beat the Bucks. Magic beat the Cavaliers earlier tonight. They stopped a 13-game win streak. 15-game win streak was 16, I don't know what Cavs were. 16. Stopped a 16-game win streak for the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's why RJ was in here. Coach RJ was in here because his 76ers beat somebody. 130-125. They beat the Mavericks tonight. Lakers beat the Suns tonight, this afternoon, 107-96. Blazers beat the Raptors. Nets beat the Hawks. Wolves beat the Jazz. Clippers destroy the Hornets, 123-88. Anything else you guys want to get at in the look around? I know, again, maybe you want to talk about some NCAA really quickly, before we get up out of here.
Yeah, my bad, Justin. Last thing I'll say, just off of college basketball, what I saw today, great championship Sunday earlier on, and then followed with the bracket announcement. But I think Florida's dangerous, man. I'll give you guys that. I'll give all the people in the chat that because I know we're going to be competing against each other. I think Florida is really dangerous. They got guys who knock down shots, defend at a high level. They scored 86 points on a top 5 defensive team in the country. Like, yeah, they're real good. So that's all I got on college basketball. I wish my Dayton Flyers were in it. NIT bound again. We got to figure something out.
Got to win that NIT, though, if you in it. Just go ahead and win it. Might as well, right?
No, I hope we lose in the first round so we can get some transfers. We can get the leg up on the people who's actually playing real meaningful ball. And also, last thing I'll say, my bad. I had another thing. Wisconsin absolutely collapsed. That was bad. I wish they were able to get that Big Ten championship, especially because of how it ended last year as well. But credit to Michigan, man. They played well, made the bigger shots in bigger moments.
Well, a smart young guy that lives in the city of Dayton, Ohio, said it was a make or miss league, and I think that's what you saw from the Wisconsin Badgers. They missed. The problem was we kept shooting, even though we were missing. Good opportunity to win a basketball games. I think we got a tough draw to go Thursday to Denver. Play Montana. Montana's kind of struggled a lot with these big opponents, but you still got to hoop. And then for the other Milwaukee team that's in it, Marquette, man, just another tough draw. If you are fortunate enough to win your first round game, which you're playing against arguably the best point guard, most non-mentioned point guard, but best point guard in college basketball, and then you get Mr. Tom Izzo after that. So it's tough, man. But hey, we're here. We got the brackets. We're ready. I did want to ask y'all one quick question before we get out of here, though. So our road trip, we got 5 games: Golden State, at the Lakers, at Sacramento, at Phoenix, at Denver. How many of those do you think we need to win, and how many of them do you think we can win?
What's that? 5, right? It's 5 games.
Golden State, Lakers, Kings, at Suns, and Denver to close it out.
Give me 3 and 2. 3 and 2, I'm fine. Here's the thing. You have to beat Sacramento and Phoenix.
Yep.
And then just find me one after that. And if LeBron's not playing I don't know if LeBron's gonna be back. They say he's close. I don't know if LeBron's not back for Lakers. That's a guaranteed win too. So if he's not playing, that should be 3, and that should be a 3 right there. And then I'm looking to get another one. But you have to go beat Sacramento. You have to go beat Phoenix. And then just find me one. If it's Golden State, LA, and Denver, right? Find me one. Find me one.
Yeah, to me, I'm looking at this and I go, why not 4-1? Why not 4-1? Why not get back on Golden State? I figured we were kind of in that game before All-Star break until Quentin Post goes nuclear, and we still didn't. I don't think we had 34 in that game, correct? So yeah, I don't think we had 34. So why not?
It was super minutes restriction. 34.
Yeah. So why not get this one from Golden State? There's no back-to-back excuses. You won't see that here. And yeah, maybe you lose to Denver on the road in that last one, but I'm looking at these like Los Angeles, Sacramento, Phoenix. That could very well be 3-0 right there in that stretch. So it's all going to depend on how they come out on Tuesday, and hopefully it's they come out with a bang.
Well, I would agree with you, Chris. If we come out 4-1, I pretty much feel like that kind of solidifies that number 4 seed for us, pretty close to it. Anything winning on this road trip is great. I even think we got the capabilities, and here we go, me being a delusional Bucks fan again, to go 5-0. I mean, all these teams are winnable, and we've proven with the Denver Nuggets we can beat them. That altitude kind of goes into fact a little bit. So maybe 4-1, 3-2, any one of those I'd be happy with. One last thing, Rick, 4 games in 4 days. The Wisconsin Badgers' legs were gone, and the shooting starts with the legs. I don't disagree with that either, man. Good point.
Tanjay was off today.
What did he shoot? What did he shoot? Like 1 of 15 or something?
Yeah, he didn't. His only made field goal was a dunk. So that'll hurt. I mean, but hey, you rather get that game out of the way against Michigan in the Big Ten championship than in the first round versus who do they have? Montana.
Montana. Yep.
You rather, because that Montana team, I'm not gonna say they're upset alert or anything, but you come out shooting like that, it could be tough.
Yeah, no, 100%. Again, want to give a thought out to our CCC bracket challenge. I just want to put it up just so I know it. Cash App at TCIIIESQ21. $, not at, $TCIIIESQ21. $10 for the $10 per sheet, 5-sheet max. On ESPN. Password is crossover. I believe it's just one capital C, but I'm not sure. Password is crossover. You can get me in the Cash App. You can also do Venmo at TCIIIYEEE. So 2 ways to do it. And also, I gave my number out earlier. Probably shouldn't have done that. But you also hit me on Apple Pay if you so choose. So good to know there. Again, CCC Bracket Challenge, 65% to first place, 25% to second place, and 10% to third place. Get your picks in before the first game in the first round. I want to thank everybody for watching us tonight, enjoying it, man. We enjoyed you being here. Listen, Bucks After Dark, you know what it is. You know what it is. We're coming Bucks After Dark all week long. Gonna be some late nights, late starts. So again, you're gonna have to be we're gonna see how dedicated of a fan base this is. You got to be a degenerate to be out here with us on the late night. Hopefully, I'm gonna take some medicine because I'm hoping I can be here with you. But I've gone downhill as this show has gone on tonight. Let me see what else. Well, thank you guys if you for being here. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us right here at the Cream City Crossover after a loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder, 121-105. We appreciate it as always. The YouTube, on Twitter, everything that you do is appreciated. If you were disappointed in this loss tonight, just hit the like button. Just let us know you're disappointed. Hit that like button. We want to appreciate you for doing that. Want to thank all the super chats that were in the building tonight. Want to thank you for following us. Please follow, like, subscribe, all that stuff. It helps us a tremendous amount here at the Cream City Crossover. Tell a friend and tell a friend and tell a friend about the Cream City Crossover. Is that everything? I think so. This has been a Mr. That one guy says, "Coos my ass out." King says, "Great show, appreciate it." This has been a Cream City Media Group production. Oh, I want to thank Curls Water from Sports Bar and Grill. That's good. Thanks, Curls Water from Sports Bar and Grill. Sponsor tonight. Get out to Curls Water from Sports Bar and Grill out in Lakeview Boulevard, Pewaukee, Wisconsin. Get out there, enjoy some good food, good wings, all that good stuff out there. Tell them the Grill sent you. Tell them Cream City Crossover sent you. Curly's Water from Sports Bar. The Cream City Crossover. This has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Group across the dirt.
Chris King.
Justin.
Hey, man, if we are your enemies only because we dare to tell you the truth, don't take no wooden nickels.